Well, hello, all my poor people. This is Michael Dieterich here. I'm just a poor boy. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back, as the case may be. Now, some of you may recognize these colors from this custom pour I've been working on. I still have to release another video about that, but I decided, Gina, when she asked for this custom, she also wanted like a vase, a matching vase, and she was also going to get some jewelry. So that jewelry is going to require skins. I'm going to get to that later. But I was actually going to make her a vase as a gift. But she was like, oh, no. Yeah, she asked for that. So I was like, okay, now I have to come up with a separate gift. So I decided, and it's something I hadn't done before, but I've seen a lot of, and I figured, it would be easy to do. And that was coasters. So after my move to this house, I had tons of extra tiles left over for mosaics, but they don't have to always be used for mosaics. So I used them for this. They are just good old ceramic. Oh, that's on there. There we go. That's on there pretty good. They're just ceramic tiles. Here they are over here. Back. We'll talk about protecting those later. But with the extra paint I had over the other night, I decided I would pour a couple, and they just turned out lovely. Yeah. I've got 5 so far. Now, Gina has a Amsterdam apartment, and that means in general that it's not huge. But Gina is one of my favorite Dutch words, gezellig. Gezellig is like cozy, company, friends, candles, wine, games, fun. It's an atmosphere. And I've been to Gina's parties, poker parties, game nights, birthday parties, and yeah, she'll fill up that house. So I thought, you know what? Gina's got tons of guests. I'm going to need to make 8 of these. So I've done the first 5, and I am going to tonight finish up the last 3. Let me get rid of these ones that I have, get them out of the way, and they're going to, of course, need a resin at some point. I'll worry about that when they're fully cured. But for now, let me clear these ones out of the way, and we'll get on with making some new coasters. Okay, I've cleaned up my space so I can work a little better. I'm going to pour these right on my spinner. This is just a cake spinner. Some people use like doilies, or they have them made or whatever. This one's pretty small, but it works for me for up to like 40 by 40 canvases if I put the right base down on top of this. With tiles, they're pretty heavy, so unless you like really violently spin, they probably won't fly off. But I do just put in one little piece of masking tape, and I find that that's enough. I have my faithful baby wipes, and I'm just going to, before I use these tiles, some of them have had some debris on them, and I just want to clean them off real quick. I'm just going to do one at a time, and then start my process every time with that. I'm also going to make sure that it's dry before, and I also just take a quick look at it, make sure I don't see any marks or anything. Just going to place this pretty much in the middle. It's not like a dahlia 3D flower pour. It doesn't have to be perfectly centered. So this is ready to go with my leftover paints. Now, a lot of people will watch me do this, and if you have done coasters before, or if you've done any bloom pours, it's going to look very similar, except I'm not using house paint, and I'm using the same white. This is my titanium white from Amsterdam, thinned down a little bit more than the other colors. I use this as my base, and then also I put it on top as my cell activator, and it does double duty just perfectly. You saw the results I already have. Yeah. So first thing I'm going to do is put on my base kind of coat. I'm going to do fairly large circle in the middle, and I like to do a little bit of a run out towards the corners. I'm just going to give that a spin. doesn't have to go all the way out yet. That's fine. There's already some bubbles in there, but we'll worry about that in a moment. For this one, I'm doing it pretty much in the same order as my pour on the final canvas. So I'm going to do first some red, probably more than you need, but I find with the Dutch pour technique using a hair dryer, it helps to have a little bit more paint on there. Even though you'll get rid of a lot of it, it just spreads so much better. So red, then I've got some metallic red. I'm moving on now to my custom purple that I made for Gina to match her website. Not too much of the purple. It's the darkest color out of all of them, and it would have the tendency to make mud. And also, I'm going to add a little bit of this lovely metallic. The metallics really come out nicely on the tiles, I've noticed. And oh boy, when you get resin on top of those, boy, they just shine. Good. A little of this pink. Good. Nice amount there. Then I just put on just a couple quick dabs of red dots. Yeah, really just, oh, this one's almost empty, but luckily I have another bottle. Just a couple dots, because in the canvas I also had a middle stripe. Here I add my metallic white. Again, there's so much white in this, I don't do a whole lot of that. But I like to separate the purple, red, pink from the orange and yellow, so we don't get too much mud. And we also don't end up with a ton of orange, because the yellow mixes. Now for this yellow, I found in testing, I have this regular yellow. I think it's Osmo Medium if I remember correctly. But I also had a metallic for this pour. But I find that the metallic with this Dutch pour really does not mix well with the Dutch pour. And I was ending up with a lot of green and a lot of mud. So I'm not going to use that there. Yeah. I'm then going to end with first just a couple drops of this white. Yeah, and then end the next part, I keep saying end when it's not even an end yet, with a couple more drops of red, just because in the painting red's the dominant color. And then back to the white again, because this does work great as a cell activator as well. Amsterdam white, titanium white, yeah? There we go. Great. Now, let's just spread that a little bit, get it closer to the corners. That's nice. And the center again. Let's torch this. Whoop. Great. Make sure those bubbles are gone. Now, I have been doing this without the nozzle on, but I am going to try now one with the nozzle, because I've been finding with vases, I'll usually do it without the nozzle. It's circular and go down, and it spreads nicely. But for some reason, with these tiles, I really get it one direction. So I'm just going to see if I can control it a little bit more. Here we go. That's it. Not overdoing it. I am, though, now going to A little less white in there. Great. Yeah, that one's lovely. A little sharp here. Here too. Yeah, I really like that one. Let's again. Torching for some cells. Great. Now here's a couple areas where it didn't really make it to the corners. That's okay. I don't want to overdo this, but I'm going to give it a minor spin. And then I'll do some touch-up spots looking at that now. Yeah, except for that corner, there's a couple little small areas. I'm going to look for the place where I can get under here. There we go. Keeping it pushed down. I'm going to just get through that tape. There we go. Made it. And lift up. So just checking here, this little corner with the white and red, just going to touch it up a little. There we go. This corner with the white is good. This corner is complete. It's just the corner really where I've lifted it up. This one's white, but that's paint. So this corner here, gonna leave it. My finger won't get into that little spot. I'm just gonna steal my straw real quick. There we go. Good, that looks good all around. Yeah, and I'm just going to now put that on top of one of these cups, just so I can pull my palette knife out. A little fighting with the paint. That's okay. That one's also very pretty. Make sure it's kind of centered on there so that it'll stay straight. Just put that off to the side. Great. Now that tape, I lifted it off with that, so it's on the bottom of the tile. No big deal. Take care of that later. Just going to clean my palette knife real quick. And then here on the spinner, there's still quite a bit of colored paint. And what I'm going to do is then I'm going to take the next tile. I'm going to first put down a piece of tape in the middle, loopy-loop. Yeah. I'm going to take one of my trusted baby wipes. I have a drawer full of baby wipes. I mean, those cases came in. I got such a good deal on them that I got them in advance, and it's like one of those things that I go, don't need those for a while, but it's nice to have them. But it's funny, like if people come over and I show them the studio, it's like, and they don't know anything about acrylic pouring or what I do, then when I open up that drawer, it's like, hey weirdo, what do you need baby wipes for? Okay. So what I'm going to do with some of this paint that's on here is I'm just going to pick it up and I'm just going to do some of these corners just to get some paint flow going later. So that will help next time, help spread that paint. I mean, with the spreading, the blowing, and the spinning, I'm sure that none of this original color will stay on there, but it will just help the final product. So, having done that, toss it on there. And now I think we can now do the next two without me explaining it. I'm just going to get these two finished, show you the final products. Here we go. Okay guys, let's take a quick look at these. Beautiful, lots of cells. This one's got a little bit more white in it. This one is dominated by a little bit of red, and it's got some nice yellow in there. I used my finger to dab some of the greenage away, and this one's got lots of cells and pink. I'm going to move these out of the way so they can dry and move on to my next little bit. Here we go. Alrighty guys, it's the next day, and here they all are together. Now, the three that I poured last night are, dry on the bottom and the outsides, but there is still some wetness up on top. You'll see that in a minute. Just kind of showing you the variation through these. All part of the same family, but all individual. And then now here are the three wet ones. I think especially here, you can see here the red still has to dry. And the white here, and the white and yellow here, can't see that very clearly, but it is wet. So I am gonna let them dry. I've brought them down out of the studio here to my office, which also doubles as my resin room. But this is the complete set. It's funny because you can also, in certain cases, I find, like, turn them and reset them, and it feels like, oh, they belong together better, like that, for example. Almost like they were poured together, yeah. But then, you know, you could set these on your table, for example, next to each other, you know, the tiles, and put them in any order you want. They will have cork on the bottom, maybe resin on the top, so they'll be protected, but you could do anything with you want with them. I probably won't do the resin process on this filming. It's going to take a while anyway, unless at that time of that video I go, oh, I want to shoot some more material. I do have a resin video, but maybe doing these tiles and the cork on the back would be nice. We'll see, but I wanted to share with you the fairly dry results now, and then I'll probably do a complete video at the end where I show everything: Gina's painting, the coasters, the vase, the jewelry, the picture frame as a complete package. So I'm going to wrap this up now for coasters. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a like, subscribe if you aren't. That would help me out, or don't, whatever you want. I'd like it if you would. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you also have fun pouring your own coasters. I'm sure I'm going to be doing quite a few more of these in the future. They don't take a whole lot of paint. You can do dynamic things with them. They make good gifts that aren't too expensive. And I have got tons and tons of tiles. So expect to see more of these in the future. Hope you enjoyed it. My name is Michael Dietrich. I'm just a poor boy. See you next time.